Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. Sometimes I have to sit back and have a bit of a laugh to myself when I hear some of these foreign guys telling stories about how they were dating a Filipina and how badly it ended. And the first thing you'll hear usually from these guys is the end part of the story. They're going to be saying things like Filipinas are no good. I had one that I caught playing around with other guys, and other guys who are listening to this guy's stories or reading his comments on YouTube and maybe replying to him, are saying things like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that." And then these guys will just go on and play the victim. That is, at least until somebody may question this guy and push him to find out the full story from the very beginning. And that's where the truth, or at least the good part of the truth, can be found about how this man came to the Philippines, either on a vacation or perhaps even to live there, and in his quest to find the love of his life in a beautiful Filipina. By the way, guys, if any of you are looking to find a beautiful Filipina for a long-term relationship, be sure to check out my affiliate link in the description box below. There are thousands of Filipinas just waiting to meet you, and it's free to open an account and view thousands of profiles. Many of our male members have highly recommended this site to me after they've had fantastic success in finding the love of their life. If you are serious about finding a beautiful Filipina, then what have you got to lose? The link is in the description below. Now on with the video. In any country there are different types of women. You will have everything from conservative and shy to raunchy and outgoing and everything else in between. Where I come from, there is a saying, and it goes something like this: there are types of women that you marry and types of women that you get what you want from them and then never see them again. And as I say, that saying will ring true in any country in the world, and the Philippines is no exception. Maybe my thinking on this is a bit out of sync these days. After all, I was born in the 1960s and we're now in the year 2020, so who knows, maybe I'm just getting old. But then again, one would think common sense would win the day. But with some of these men who race off to the Philippines to find love, it would appear that common sense isn't so common after all. And as I say, these guys who have been burned by a Filipina will always give you the end of the story first, with all the juicy details on how bad the Filipina is and how it was all her fault and the relationship ended, and they'll tell you how all Filipinas are the same. But then, as you dig deeper and ask this guy more and more questions, you actually find out a few facts about this guy and the woman that he says burned him. And many times these stories all have a similar tone about them. Remember earlier when I said about different types of women in the world and in the Philippines? Well, it seems that these guys don't understand this very simple concept, which absolutely baffles me because, as I say, it's universal, not just limited to the Philippines. One would think that a normal and rationally thinking foreign man who is serious about finding a Filipina for a genuine long-term relationship would go looking for a decent Filipina who dresses nicely, is well groomed, has a genuine smile and is attractive with a fun-loving nature. Now, he may go walking along the beachfront and he may meet Filipinas by chance and strike up a conversation to see if there's any interest or possibilities there. Or he may even try his luck at a mall where he may come across a shop assistant who may also show a bit of an interest in him. And there are many places a foreign man may go to meet the love of his life in the Philippines and to find the type of woman required for a happy, long and successful relationship. But no, I find out after questioning these guys that they typically land in Manila, and soon after starting their epic quest to find the love of their life. So where do you think they head off to? Well, I'll tell you, it's certainly not the beachfront. And no, not the malls or coffee shops, but they go straight to the girly bars in Manila or get a bus up to Angeles City and try to hit up the many bar girls there. Now, these bar girls in general may be categorized as the type of girl you only want for one night, and most of these girls aren't interested in anything about you other than your money. That's why these girls do this work in the first place, because of the money, and that's their focus. And many of these girls are extremely outgoing, and they may dress provocatively even out of work, and can be extremely flirtatious by nature with, let's say, much lower morals and values as the Filipina type we mentioned earlier. Once inside the bar, he finds this beautiful bar girl, and yes, many of them are quite beautiful, which is a trap to lure these guys into their web. He'll start drinking, and then he'll start buying her some drinks, and he'll start really throwing his money around like he's the king of the world. Come the end of the night, he may even leave with this Filipina, and he may even make his first big conquest in the Philippines. He looks at her in the morning and sees how beautiful she is. Now he's no longer intoxicated, and he thinks he could never get such a beautiful looking woman in his country. And in his mind, at least, he needs to hang on to her without any thought process other than she's very beautiful and what a wild night they've had together. So like a madman, he rushes in and asks her to be his girlfriend. Of course, this is a great way for her to get much more money for a period of time at least. So she says yes, and now he thinks what a lucky guy he is. And maybe after a little while, these girls may sometimes even leave their job because she has this man to get all the money she likes from, and for a period of time the guy will think he's in heaven, well, at least until the time the novelty wears off and she starts her old tricks again, flirting with the other men and even having physical relationships with other men. Now he's heartbroken because the love of his life has cheated on him and absolutely destroyed him, and he goes around telling everybody how she's had affairs on him, took all his money, and was just a big gold digger. If you actually think about it for a minute, you can really see just how nuts this is. A guy lands in the Philippines, wants a girlfriend, races off to the girly bars to find one, and is surprised when he finds out she never really wanted him but just his money. One really can't help but to laugh at such stupidity, and the thing is, a guy like this probably never learnt and may go back again to those same girly bars to find another one, and the cycle continues. And because the guy has been burned by 3 or 4 of those types of girls, he now labels all Filipinas the same. So identifying the type of girl you want and going to the places where you're likely to meet or find her is a completely rational thing to do. And going to the girly bars is fine if you want a one-night stand, but ludicrous to think you can find a Filipina there for a long-term relationship. And guys, these are just my views and opinions, and I'd like you to share your views in the comments below, but remember to be respectful to our community. If you have enjoyed the video or found it interesting or informative, then please give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to share the video with all your networks and subscribe to our friendly community if you haven't done so already. And remember to hit the notification bell to get more videos. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate all your support. Bye for now.